Welcome to the slow yet strong yoga class. Today, I challenge you to move very slowly through your flow. It will challenge your patterns because we develop usually a certain pace with which you move. See if you can resist that and explore something new with this class. If you'd like to have a blanket handy, you can have this to sit on for the first little portion. It's just nice if you have low back issues at all in the body. And have your mat and any props like blocks that you might like to use today. So you could sit cross-legged or sit on your shins, whatever feels best for you. And ground here as you sit up tall and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So just continue to unite with your breath. And you may find today that you move at a very different pace than myself, and that's okay, because your breath pattern will be different, and breath matches movement. Let's take those arms up overhead, circle them around, bring the palms together, and lower them down through heart center. Nice. So nice to see you all today. Have some people live today. Namaste. A challenge for the shoulders and the arms. First option is to cup the shoulders with the fingertips. So you could be right here with a nice open chest. Another option is extend the arms at a 60-degree angle and bend at the second knuckle except for the thumbs. The thumbs stick out. This is ego eradicator arms here. And long, deep breathing as you press those arms slightly back. So this will open up through the shoulders. You may notice as you press back that the ribs try to flare for some of us. Let them glide slightly toward the pelvis and let the shoulder blades slide down the back. And breathe here with a slight integration of the ribs. For people that are tight, you'll feel this stretch in your shoulders. Again, if too much, cup the shoulders. Breathing in and out as the arms start to fatigue. Staying steadfast here. More breaths. Final inhale. And splay the fingers. You could always set the hands down on the legs if it's too much to keep them up here, or keep them up and touch thumb to pinky, thumb to ring, thumb to middle, thumb to index. So it's pinky, ring, middle, index. Pinky, ring, middle, index. We're warming up the hands here. And also, this is part of a chant. To get to the pinky here, it's sa, ta, na, ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. You might chant in your head. You might choose not to chant. Just continue here with your sa, ta, na, ma. Birth, life, death, rebirth. Birth, life, death, rebirth. A few more rounds here at your own pace. Arms might be fatiguing. Last round. And inhale, splay fingers. And exhale to finally lower those arms. Very nice. Cross your legs the opposite way if they were crossed. And we'll side bend over to your left and come back to center. Again to the left and to center. And now let's slow it down more than normal. It's your own pace here. Resist your usual speed. And this movement will only slow down as much as your breath comfortably can without any dizziness. So for some people, that's a longer inhale and exhale. For some people, it might be a little shorter, but it's just longer for you. And next time you come over to the side, stay whenever that is, and then sweep that arm in front and come back tall. Roll the shoulders. And then opposite side, that left arm will come up and arc over to the right and come up tall. And this again, the first few, maybe it's your normal pace, but then see if you can lengthen out the breath. And I like to inhale over and exhale back. Again, you could flip-flop this. There's a lot for the side body today. So we start nice and slow, but this will get stronger over the course of class. How slow can you go without gripping? Stay curious about the experience. Finish your last one, stay over to that side. And sweep that arm in front, and then open the arms out, press the palms to the outside edges of the room. There could be a bend in the elbows if needed. And then here we bend at the second knuckle. Other arm straighter, a little bit bent. Preparing the arms because we have a side plank today. And then hands come back through center. And come onto all fours, facing me. And we'll start with our cat tilts, where we arch the spine, perhaps look up or keep the head still, and exhale to round. Inhale to arch, and exhale to round. And do that again, slower. I'm going to model keeping the head still now for anyone with dizziness, because the head could stay still, the rest of the spine could move. Explore this more slowly. You might even notice the center body turn on more each time you round. And then come to neutral when you're finished your last round. And if there's any dizziness, you could tuck your toes and hover the knees. If there isn't, hips up and back, downward facing dog. I know you're off your mat probably here. That's okay. Take a breath. And then lower the knees back down and arch slowly and round slowly. Find your neutral position. Toes are tucked, hover the knees, and or hips up and back, downward facing dog. Finding this kind of slower pace. Knees return to the earth from the hover or down dog. Arch super slow. Round super slow. Come back to neutral, hover knees or hips up and back. Just little repetitive flow. And lower the knees back down where we'll stay. And take that left leg out to the side, extend it long. The foot will plant. Find your shoulders here, press the earth away, and rotate open toward the left. That arm can reach up and very slowly thread that arm underneath the left armpit. Do this super slow so you can open and close at your own pace. Breath matches movement, so slower or faster than myself. The next time you open, you can pause there whenever you arrive. And again, more slowly, the normal roll the wrist, the top wrist. Feels into the joint. In reverse directions, even if you just did one circle, that's okay. Test of our fortitude here. Inhale and exhale to return that hand to the earth and bend that left knee and make a few circles at the hip. Again, this slower than normal pace. See how smooth you can make this circle. This also works your center body, your core. Also see this in Pilates, this movement. Change your direction, even if you just did one circle. And while we do this, there's a slight hug of that right outer thigh inward. And then when you're finished, lengthen that leg behind you and then cross it over to the right-hand side where the toes can plant down. If there's dizziness, keep the head where it is and just breathe. Or you could look over that same shoulder and back to center. And again, try this really slow. Look over the shoulder when you're ready and back to center. Yeah, it's so slow. So depending on your pace, could be doing about one more, finishing coming back to center when you're ready. And then lift that left leg, take it back out to the side, bend the knee slowly. I did that too fast, bend it slowly. Bring that left knee through and plant that foot in front of you. Might come off the mat here. For this low lunge, adjust until you're ready to roll up through the torso. Yeah. We've landed here. Let's explore those arms a little bit as we press through back, shin, and foot. Backs, the palms can come together more slowly than normal. I know I keep saying that. Bring the arms out in front of you. We'll bend at the elbows to roll through the wrists. That'll naturally kind of happen. Yeah. And then open the arms when you're ready out to the sides. So arms overhead. And play with the pace that works for you. Just modeling my own pace here. Feel the resistance. You might do anywhere from like 1 to 5 more, depending on your pace. Press your back shin, protects that knee. And then when complete, the arms can open here. Can even interlace the fingers only if it's available to open up across the heart. And then come back to center. And here, knees can be side by each. If you need some time off of the knees, you could also come into a little squat position and do a mini squat with the legs parallel, hips parallel. Or I'm going to show you from the side here. Arms can reach out in front. More slowly than normal, sit the bottom toward the heels. It'll just hover and then lift back off. Arms can come to your sides as you activate through the base of your glutes. So this is a kneeling squat from Pilates. How slow can you do this? Makes it harder. It's everything harder. Anywhere from 1 to 3 more. So I'm going to do one more at my own pace here. And press up. Very nice. Arms sweep overhead. And bring the hands down back to the earth. A scapular glide here. So let the chest sink between the hands just slightly. So shoulder blades come together. And then we press the earth away. Straight from the side as well. Let the chest sink and arch. Again, our slower than normal pace. You might do one more. And then come to neutral to give those knees a break. Tuck the toes, you could hover the knees or send the hips nice and high, downward facing dog. Bring those knees back down. And we again scapular glides, 3 of them, approximately. 2 and 1. And then lift the knees to hover or up and back. Press through the hands and the fingertips. Let's pause for a moment longer. And lower right back down. We'll take that right leg out to the side. That foot really grounds, that activates the inseam of the legs. And then take that right arm up, rotate open, and more slowly thread that hand through. Eventually it'll come to thread under that left armpit and back open in your own time. Pretend the air is thick. There's resistance there. Notice that desire to speed up. I can feel it in myself. Whenever that arm reaches to the sky again, we'll pause and try that wrist roll. Smooth and slow. Switch the direction of the wrist. And then reach that arm a little higher. Inhale. And thread. Take your time. Arm can reach back up. And plant it parallel to the other hand. Let's bend that right knee. See if you can do it slow. And then circle the knee. Everybody's looking all right. Who I can see there. That's good. And switch directions. Oh, good. I saw a thumb. Excellent. Finish your last circle. Send that leg directly behind you and then cross it over toward that left side and plant the toes. You might just enjoy this stretch here or look over that shoulder and bring the head back, remembering to resist your regular pace. The breath will slow within reason to match the movement. And bring that head back to center if it was moving. That right leg will lift off, bring it out to the side, bend the knee, Draw the knee side by each to pull it through and roll up through the spine with control. Arms can reach up, backs of palms together. Let's try that really slow kind of wrist roll again. So arms come out in front, bend at the elbows. Hands will naturally come back, palms together as then open. This is definitely easier to do faster. Explore here and bring backs of palms together. Will help this movement occur. So finish up another round, maybe even 3, depending on your pace. And the arms will open. Again, the option to clasp hands together or just reach back so the heart opens. Inhale. And exhale to return to center. And the knees will come side by each again. Again, that option to do the squats, kind of like in a chair position. Or again, a slow kneeling squat, arms out in front as we slowly lower to hover over the heels with the bottom. And then press back up. And try to keep, hopefully I'm doing it, ears in alignment with shoulders, in alignment with hips. This is no easy task here. So finish your last one. Very nice. And come to the top. And that left hand, actually both hands, will lift up to the sky. You could bring the hands behind the head or reach them overhead, whatever works for you. Slowly, we'll tip into a modified side plank. So we'll tip over to your right hand side slowly. Release that left hand. Whoop. See how slow you can go until it reaches the earth, and that right leg will lift off with the knee bent. Press the head into the hands here and extend that right leg and bend. Extend and bend. If not, you could stay here. Around one more, depending on your pace. And with the knee either bent, this is a nice option here, used to get lots of work, or with the leg long, just lift and lower. About 2 more, lift, super slow, lower. Again, you could be bent, lift, and lower that foot completely to the earth. You could stay right here in this side plank, or bottom leg will meet the top leg. Top arm will extend. And that slow, slow, slow bringing of the arm over the ear. And slower than you want to go, bring it to your side. You might find the arm wants to rush because you want to come out of this. How slow can you make it move? Lift from the underside wherever you are, even if that bottom knee is down. There's still some great work happening in the side body and lengthening happening in the top side. And then lower down from wherever you are onto that side of the body, onto that left side. And then roll onto your front with mindfulness. Lower your forehead toward the earth. Arms out in cactus or 90-degree angle. Press the base of the glutes down and then lift through the upper back. The arms can also lift or the hands can stay on the earth. And lower back down. It's like you're tracing a marble out and away with your nose as you press the base of the pelvis down. And find a nice slow pace here that works for you. This back extension We're often very rounded in our Western world, so we need this extension work. Continue here. So you can feel the nuances of that upper spine, the small little movements that are occurring. One final time. And then lower right back down. And half bow here. Bend that, what would be your right leg, and take that same hand, perhaps to reach back toward the leg, or even clasp the ankle. And from here, you can inhale and press hand into shin, shin into hand, lift up and lower. Lift up and lower. One more time, lift and release that. Hands come under the forehead once more. Slide those hands in so that you can press yourself up into either a tabletop or a downward facing dog. Only so you can bring that furthest leg from me through the hands and lower the back knee to lift up to equalize blood pressure. And then hands can come back down to the inseam of the lead leg, so you can tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Then blade that back foot, coming into warrior two. Circle those arms, lift through the torso, so you're open toward me with your body. From here, press the palms away and bring the backs of the palms toward the shoulders. And slowly press away again. See how slow you can go with the arms, keeping the solid legs. So you press evenly through both feet. Finish up with the arms. Perhaps you bring them in and back out. And then palms face down, extend the lead leg, send the hips back in space, moving toward triangle. And it could be a small triangle or left arm down, right arm up, maybe further down, maybe higher up. Imagine you're between two panes of glass. And then rebend that lead knee, and that right arm will, or that left arm rather, will sweep up. From here, come back into the warrior two, only so that you can pivot so your toes are facing me or facing out to the kind of corners of your mat as you bend your knees. So this is for those people with vertigo. We stay nice and high here, okay? Or you could forward fold here. Otherwise, you're in that nice little squat, okay? Walk those hands out from wherever you are. Scapular push-up. Let the chest sink, then press away. And then walk in either into the forward fold, or I'll model the squat here. Okay. And then walk out. Head might need to stay nice and high. Scapular glide. And walk back into fold or to squat. And see if you can slow this down. Find what works for you. Okay. And whenever you're finished a round and you land in your squat or in your fold, we'll lower the knees and take your time. We'll lower the knees back down to the earth. For the other side. Roll up through the torso. Arms can reach overhead. Maybe they come behind the head. So you press the head into the hands and activate through the shins. And this is where we start to tip our shape toward your right. Release that bottom hand. Ooh, I'm going to tip. And that left leg will come off of the earth. The knee can be bent. And then extend the leg and bend. Extend and bend. Maybe one more time, extend. Okay, option to rebend or keep it long and lift and lower. Really challenging. Lift, lower, lift, and lower the foot all the way to the earth. And here's our lovely side plank where you can focus on the press of the head, focus on the lift, or take bottom leg, stack it. And maybe extend, wherever you are, extend that top arm. You can bring it to your side, so slowly, and bring it overhead. Resist. You're not going to get out of it sooner just because you move the arm faster. So challenging. It's okay to need to come out of it, to lower that bottom knee. Ooh, just a little longer here. And then lower onto, yeah, whenever you're ready, onto that side that was facing the earth. And roll onto the belly. Again, that mindfulness, that slowness. Not trying to get to the end, but rather experiencing the process. That's what this is all about here. We're often so outcome oriented. So lower the forehead to the earth, rock the pelvis. And then come into the Sphinx. So that would be on your forearms, pressing into the earth. And instead of what we did on the other side, or when we were facing the other way, interlace the fingers for some sneaky core. So we inhale here and exhale to lift the pelvis off the earth. Engage your center body as you exhale. Inhale to lower the belly. Let yourself extend. And exhale to lift. Just a few like this and see how slow you can go. Especially the way down. Notice that desire to rush. So anywhere from 1 to 3 more, depending on your breath pace. And lower down all the way for the half bow on the other side. So this time it'll be your, let's see, it's your left leg. Your left leg will bend in. That same hand will take or clasp the ankle. Inhale to arc the body, lift if you wish, and lower, lift, and lower. Around one more lift, and lower, right back down, hands underneath the forehead here. As we slide those hands closer to the shoulder to press up into either our tabletop position or hips up and back, downward facing dog. Either way, find your own journey to get that furthest leg from me through the hands and lower the back knee to find your version of the low crescent or low lunge. And then we'll lift that back knee. So we're in the high lunge. And then blade that back foot as we open up into our warrior two. So just as you need here, So that lead knee is over second and third toe. And again, backs of palms in toward the shoulders. And slowly press room away. Take your own time, or do it in your own time. Maybe about one more. And that'll vary. Before the palms face down again, extend the arms directly from the shoulder as you send the hips back in space and lengthen lead leg. And revolve those arms, so right arm down, left arm up. For a little reprieve here. Okay. From here, rebend that lead knee. And again, we'll pivot so that we face the long edge of our mat. So adjust your stance. You're in kind of that wide, wide squat. Okay. So you could stay in the wide squat, or from the wide squat or fold, walk the hands out again till you're in this plank. And those knees can come down or they can stay lifted. See if you can do a regular push-up now, just one. And walk the hands in. You can also just stay in the squat, right? If it's too much for dizziness, that squat is really powerful. Push up. Again, this is your own pace. And see if you can do maybe your last one even slower before you stay in squat or in fold. How slow can you descend and come up and walk in? And from wherever you are, lower back down onto those knees and tabletop. And sway the hip side to side. Hopefully that was quite challenging. And then we'll turn to face the right side of your mat. Like, which leg do I want to lead? Yes, right side of your mat. And have the toes tucked here. Can also, if you need an extra challenge, you have to see once we're, where we're going, have the knees hover. Okay, is an option for this too. So we could have knees down or a knee hover. Let's all practice this together. That right leg can reach out and then draw it in. Right leg reaches out and draws in. Or from down dog, that right leg reaches up and draws through into plank. Lengthen the leg up, three-legged dog possibly, or extend that leg. Come into your plank. And see if you can slow whichever variation you have down. Super slow. Knee pulling through in whatever variation you've got. And the next time it does pull through, adjust to drape the shin if pigeon is in your practice. Okay, so I'll model pigeon first, and there's deer as a nice option here. So that back leg extends, that front right leg, press the shin into the earth, lengthen through the spine, and some people will fold forward. If that doesn't work for you, perhaps you try deer, roll onto that right hip, knees are bent, could be 45-degree angle, depends. And here we walk the hands forward. That usually gives us that sensation in the right glute and the hip. So choose, and we'll stay for a time. You can soften the jaw, wiggle it around. A few more breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, perhaps through the mouth. As if you're in pigeon, you sit down onto that right hip if you're not already there. And pivot so that you can open the legs wide to the long edge of your mat and find yourself in a V, however you need to get there. And then spine could be long or rounded as you fold. So perhaps you walk the hands out long spine, then fold, or stay long. And flex the ankles to protect the knees. One more inhale here. Exhale, and roll up through the spine. And we'll rotate toward, I think it'll be your right for you. And fold over that leg. Just for a moment. Again, this could be a long spine. So you're just pivoted or angled rather. And then slide or sweep those hands over toward your left frame front foot. Slightly different order here. Lean or round forward. And then put a little bit more weight on that left hip as you try to turn toward the left short edge of your mat. Bend that left knee in as you kind of come almost into pigeon, only to either come all the way up into your three-legged dog or bring the knee side by each for the tabletop variation here for any dizziness. So leg can come back behind you, that left leg, either from tabletop or down dog, as you come forward into the plank or pull the knee through. Lengthen that leg back and pull the knee through. And then try to slow it down. It's very hard to slow down the tabletop variation. Good job to anyone who's doing that. One more time, lengthen that leg. And then pull that left leg through, drape the shin if taking pigeon. So find pigeon if you're choosing that. Long back leg, press through front shin. And in your own time, find that angle of that shin that works for your knee to come forward or roll onto that left hip and adjust the legs so that when you lean forward, you feel left glute and down the IT band. Either way, that front shin presses down. And soften the shoulders. Move the tongue around the teeth. Notice the quality of the breath. As you find sensation in that hip. One more inhale. Exhale, maybe sigh. As you roll onto that left hip if you're not already there. And then open toward the long edge of your mat. Again, for that wide-legged fold, tall, angled, or rounded. Breathe into the back of the heart. And then roll up through the spine. Clasp the backs of the thighs. See how slowly you can slide the feet in. And keep them kind of wide here. Take the hands, weave them around the shins. That can be a little tricky in of itself. The palms will face me. And then draw, or heel toe, those feet together. Just a different way to get into it. For cobblers, long spine or folds. You can slide those feet out. That usually creates a little more ease in the hips, or slide them in. If you don't like the hands in this position, they could also cup the feet. Whatever's comfortable. And roll up, close those legs like a book. How slowly can you do it? Give yourself a hug before you come on to one side so that you can roll yourself onto your spine in your own time. For some closing postures, more stretches. So let's take that right leg up into the air. You might flex the foot, clasp back of thigh or shin, wherever it feels comfortable to draw toes toward nose to any degree. Hamstring stretch. Few breaths here, long and strong. And then bend that right knee, hug it in toward the chest. You might be able to extend that other leg or keep it slightly bent as you take left hand across to the outer right leg to draw it over to the left for supine rotation. Maybe you extend that right arm to feel the stretch across the chest. Resetting the pelvis. More inhale. And exhale to return to the spine. Hug the knee in once more. Hug both knees in. Extend both legs to the sky. Plant the right foot down, knee is bent. Left thigh can draw in now for the hamstring stretch. Soften the shoulders. Breathe. Round 2 more breaths or so. And then hug your left knee in. Other foot could slide out a little or a lot to straight. As you bring that left thigh over and across to the right hand side and open up across left arm. Take your gaze where you will. The length across that top side of the body. One more inhale. And exhale to return to the spine. One final knee hug for the descending colon of that left knee, left thigh. Maybe both knees come together and then part them a little to the outside edges of the ribs for happy baby. Maybe it's a nice soft one, hands behind thighs. Maybe it's clasp ankles outside of feet or any other variation. There's many. Maybe you move if so desired, or stay in stillness. And feet can come together in the air and lower them down. It could be open and cobbler if you'd like. Or perhaps, so preparing for Savasana here, you could stay here. Could close the knees and outstretch the body, your body on the mat. So take any position that works. Perhaps that's on your side or belly, or even seated. As we find a reprieve here. The mind wanders, the breath is there. Inhale. Perhaps even slow it down and pause at the top if it's safe for you. And exhale, ha. Maybe pause at the bottom if it feels right. Inhale. Perhaps pause. And exhale. Pause. Continue to explore the breath. Notice your experience as you breathe in. Maybe even pause, find that still point before you release. Just being curious about the place beyond thought, the place of being. From this calm place beyond our mind's patterns that we also challenge today with slower movement. Begin to sense your back body on the earth. it heavy while the breath is light and free. Body grounded and supported. Breath fluid and open. And from this space, begin to invite movements into the body. Maybe you wiggle the fingers and the toes. Do what calls here. Or maybe even do something you normally don't do to challenge your patterns of how you enjoy moving. And then a long body stretch. And whenever you're ready, roll onto your favorite side if that works for you. So that you can come up in a way that serves your body. Perhaps use top hand to press your way up. So we can come again to see, to sit. Roll those shoulders. And then bring those arms up overhead. And bring the hands to the forehead. May our thoughts come from our hearts. And draw the hands to the throat and mouth. May our words be empowered but compassionate. And to the heart, where that light inside of us extends into our being. Thank you for practicing with me today. It was nice to see some familiar faces. Sat Nam. And for those that will see this recording, there's lots more on my channel. So feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Take care.